Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your May the 9th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's get into that screen and get going here. The title of the meditation for today is Love in Step 12. When we are practicing Step 12 to the best of our ability, love becomes central to all that we do. There is no more powerful antidote to the despair and self-destruction of addiction. Living Clean, Chapter 7, Love. Love in Narcotics Anonymous is the 12th step in action. We felt the power of love when we entered our first meeting and were welcomed, no matter what we looked like, where we came from, how we smelled, or who we came with. We found open arms and true acceptance, perhaps for the first time in our lives. The hugs, genuine care and concern, and offers of support extended to us provide a powerful model of love in action. In the beginning, allowing ourselves to receive this love takes some effort. Eventually, we get to give it away. That sounds simple, but it's not always easy. Through service, we learn to love even those members we don't really like. Sometimes we're surprised by what can happen when we focus on the primary purpose and choose principled actions. One H&I subcommittee member recalled serving on a panel with his least favorite person in the rooms. We set our differences aside and focused on our primary purpose. The member shared, "We're never going to be best friends, but I could see his heart was in the right place." We both loved NA and wanted to help the addict who still suffers. As NA members, we understand that sharing the message is an act of love. We share and we care to sustain our own recovery and to help the sick and suffering addict. It's what saves us all from the desperate and self-destructive lives we've known. After being in NA for some time, we also appreciate the love extended to those who've been here for a while, who need love just as surely as they did on their first day clean. While love alone may not help us overcome all our problems, it sure does provide a great springboard toward the solution. I will put love into action by carrying the NA message today. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please, and thank you. That is a beautiful meditation talking about step 12 and how it's love in action, right? It is love in action. And it's also a seriousness of understanding that we benefited from the same type of love. And so we want to give the same type of love in an unconditional fashion where we're able to carry the message to the addict that suffers in the sense that we have had a spiritual awakening. And we understand that part of that spiritual awakening is that it's no longer just about myself. That self-obsession has been removed from us, hopefully by this point, by this step, to the point where we understand that part of our journey now is to turn back and lend a helping hand to those that, I wouldn't say that follow us, because it could be someone that has been in the program longer than us, but they're suffering in some kind of way. And through our carrying the message, the NA message, and a clear NA message, which removes some of the confusion oftentimes. When we talk about, for instance, this being a spiritual program and not a religious one, we can confuse the suffering addict, the newcomer, sometimes with how we share. We can share in a certain with certain expressions that make it sound very religious instead of very spiritual, right? We can share in a manner that comes across very judgmental towards others. And they're not going to realize that a lot of times when we do that, we're actually judging ourselves. That's a spiritual principle, right? Of receiving what you put out, right? So a lot of times people will say, man, it's just every time she or he opens their mouths, I just feel so judged, right? It's almost like sniper sharing. But what they don't realize is that a lot of times that is just a way of you deflecting what's going on with you. And it is also going on with you. And that's why sometimes people stop and they'll say, I'm speaking to myself. Please don't get it confused, right? And so I think that it's important for us to understand that this is not just come see, come saw, whatever, whatever. It's not just something that we can think about doing. It's a given that you will get to the point where you are at your step 12 and you have had a spiritual awakening. And as a result of these steps, right, you will have this spiritual awakening and you will want to give back. I truly believe in this step. I truly believe that this is love in action. I hope that you are able to experience it as well. I am going to have a beautiful day. I know that it's going to be a difficult day, but I am going to have a beautiful day on purpose. And I hope that you will do the same. Talk to you soon.